This site is extremely rare because it has a, sometimes called a panhandle site. It has a long driveway that gets back into the site and then it opens up. Where it opens up, it has both its own sort of small valley, sort of back toward the city side, but then out the other side it looks right up the Ravenna River. Once you get into the house, you feel like you're out in the country somewhere. You can't believe you're within walking distance of the downtown mall. Instead of doing a typical square house, we actually did a triangular house that takes advantage of each of those views, and each direction is completely different than the other. To the west, looking into that small valley, there's a screened porch that opens right off the kitchen, and so many times in the year they can eat out there. Even in the early spring and late fall, when it's cool outside, that side of the house captures the afternoon sun and warms up and can be a very pleasant place to be in the afternoon. It's actually 4 stories tall, from a level at the bottom, which is a laundry and a shop and a kind of basement area that is a walkout, so it opens out to where the cars are parked. This floor, it becomes a small study and a little nook where you can work or watch television. On the next floor up, it's where the bathrooms and the closets are, and up at the top is a wonderful study and a place to work and a very private retreat looking out over a long distance from the top. Next to that tower, or sort of passing through it, is the triangular part, which is a platform that sits above the ground, goes all the way from the east side, the sort of southeast side, where it opens into a small court, and there's a very heavy curved wall and a water feature against that creates this wonderful small courtyard. Feels very European in some ways. And then one major room, the triangular room, with the kitchen and dining and living and fireplace, and then it ends out in a point where when it rains there's quite a spectacle, because all of the water from the entire roof comes to one point and drains off into the valley, and so you see the spectacular waterfall even in a modest rain coming off the end of the point of the triangle. Upstairs is the master bedroom, which is also very private. It's behind the private wall, but it has an enormous window that looks up the river. In this large open room and on that wall that looks to the north toward the Ravenna River, there are both very large openings, these big windows above the kitchen that both bring in the morning light and provide that long view. So a lot of small touches like that make it very personal and try to make the ordinary experience of everyday life something that can be magical at times. For the most part, we wanted to use as many natural materials as we could. Things like the yellow pine floor, which is a simple material, but very hard and very durable. Concrete counters in the kitchen have a kind of very natural texture to them. The exposed beams and the exposed woodwork that supports it is really to be as honest about how it's built as we can, and to use the aesthetic of revealing those materials where we can. So it has a lot to do with the light, it has a lot to do with the views, it has a lot to do with what you're looking at different times of the day when you're going about your different activities, so you can live very much with nature and with the environment.